it has been very difficult, and I have to pay the Jackson family a lot of credit for the way that they are holding their heads up, the way that they are managing this process, and the unity that they have in it. And they have a lot of support.
You are listening to and streaming the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, and she is Gina Towns, the executive producer of this show. We've been reflecting on the mourning period that we're in, having lost Reverend Jackson, but we're also reflecting on his work and witness and the lessons that we still get to hold, even as we navigate what feels like dark days. More when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The NAACP Greater Grand Rapids, Michigan branch is speaking out after 32-year-old DeQuayne Johnson was shot and killed by a Grand Rapids officer while fleeing police. The group is questioning the use of deadly force and demanding the release of body camera footage. Johnson's mother says she wants her son to be the last Black child to die unjustly. Maryland Congressman Kwesi Mfume and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker have introduced the African American History Act of 2026. The bill would provide $20 million over 5 years to support education programs through the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and formally define African American history to include slavery, the Civil Rights Movement, and the contributions of Black Americans. And Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says D.C. college students will get more tuition support with the D.C. Tuition Assistance Grant increasing to $15,000 a year and a $75,000 lifetime cap. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' 3-game losing streak has put them only one spot away from the play-in round in the Western Conference. The Lakers are 1 game ahead of Phoenix, the number 7 team in the West. The 7 through 10 teams have to go through the play-in round just to make the playoffs. The Lakers need to get right over the final 14 games of the regular season. The Rams and Chargers will have an extra $22 million to spend on player salaries for next season. The NFL announced an increase in the salary cap. Each of the 32 teams will have a total of $301.2 million for player contracts. Tonight at 6, you can get your Friday night sports fix with Out of Bounds in prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some Black folks flavor. You can hang out with us on the KBLA YouTube channel or hit us up at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. 10 Toes In serves as a mentorship and domestic violence prevention program. They support, educate, and empower couples during and after incarceration. They assist male returning citizens to re-enter society successfully and to help them maintain a healthy relationship with their romantic partner. They offer a mentorship support group for formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In teaches its Intimate Relationships 101 curriculum at male prisons throughout the state of California. They host sister support group meetings for women who are intimately involved with incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To access their services or make a donation, please visit them online at 10toesin.org or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They are healing lives through relationships. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the Southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me.
You are listening to Jesse Jr. Show.
Come on and talk with me.
I'm Captain Fortified today, your guest host, and really proud to be sitting in for my friend and brother Jesse L. Jackson Jr. If you're looking on your screen right now, you can see the cover of the Chicago Sun-Times. The headline reads, "He was somebody." He was somebody. Indeed, he was. This is just one of the publications that has its ongoing coverage of the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is lying in state today at Rainbow Push. We want to encourage folks here in the LA area to come on out to the historic First AME Church in South LA at 7 p.m. tonight. Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornel West, LA Mayor Karen Bass, the Honorable Maxine Waters, labor leader and activist leader Dolores Huerta. It's going to be a packed house of folks who have so many incredible stories to share about this incredible American hero, Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. Now I want to welcome our guest this hour. It is a great pleasure to be in conversation with so many extraordinary leaders, with so many extraordinary talents. Welcome to the show, Ted Williams, Dr. Ted Williams III. He's an educator, he's an actor, an author. He teaches political science at the City Colleges of Chicago. And he was a graduate of the University of Chicago, Rutgers, and Northern Seminary. And just while you were thinking he might just be this really academic guy, well, he's actually quite the creative as well. His acting credits include NBC's Chicago PD, Showtime's The Chi, various films and commercials, and we are delighted to have you here. Welcome, Dr. Williams.
Thank you so much for having me. It is quite an honor to be here, especially given where we are in the social justice, civil rights movement, with the loss of such a phenomenal pillar of our movement, Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm actually on my way, as soon as we get done, over to Operation Push here to try to spend a little time there and reflect with the community on the legacy of this giant who has impacted all of us and now has given us a charge, has passed the torch for each one of us to go and do and continue this work. And that, I think, we must come away from this week with, so that the work can continue. We have so much yet still to be done. And I know Reverend Jackson would be pushing all of us to keep hope alive.
To keep hope alive, indeed. And Gina Towns, who's also with us, she's the executive producer of the Jesse Jackson Jr. show. We've been reflecting over the course of this hour. And I think we have a video to share with you for our folks who are streaming us live on YouTube right now as we speak. We want to give you a sense of just the outpouring of love, that we are seeing and that the family of Reverend Jackson is experiencing. It's just a reminder that Reverend Jackson is lying in state at Rainbow Push, and all are welcomed. All are welcome. I mean, I thought it was actually quite extraordinary, almost refreshing to see Jesse Jackson Jr. and his siblings, as well as Mrs. Jackson, make it very clear that all are welcomed, including people who are left-wing, people who are right-wing, and everyone in between. Dr. Williams, were you at all surprised by that?
I am not. And the reason why is because they are a family of the people. And they've always been, which is why this outpouring is so tremendous. They have really never blocked people from being there. I mean, you would think with the level of notoriety of Reverend Jackson and of Congressman Jackson and Congressman Jackson, you would think that the space at Push would not be so open. And yet, average people from the city, around the world, really can walk in there at any point and engage in the work, listen to the programming, volunteer with what is happening. And that speaks volumes. I'll never forget the Saturdays that I have spent there over the years, and just seeing Mrs. Jackson just sitting in the lobby as people were leaving the programming, talking to people, talking to children, encouraging people, hugging people, loving folks. They truly are a family of the people. And this is such a great reflection of that.
Yeah, a family of the people, indeed. I want to share a clip that we have prepared for you. For those who are streaming, take a look at the clip on your screen. While we're waiting for that clip to load. To see Reverend Jackson, to show their respects. Dr. Williams has just shared that after we get off air. He is on his way there to pay his respects. You've done a lot of work in your career that's been very Chicago-centric. Talk to us about the Reverend Jackson effect. Did he have any effect on your choices to try and tell the stories of the people of Chicago in the projects you've chosen?
Absolutely. And I'll say this quickly as I begin to share sort of some of the points in my life where he's impacted me. The beauty of this is that Reverend Jackson may have been based in this particular city, but his heart was for the whole world. And so as someone who's lived on the East Coast and lived in other places, I also recognize that this was not just for me a Chicago movement, Chicago story, Chicago-centered fight, but it really was a fight for, as Dr. King said in 1957 with the founding of SCLC, really a fight for the soul of the nation. And that is really the work of Reverend Jackson and the work that I pray to continue in my life. A couple different Reverend Jackson moments. I met him in 1994 when I was just finished high school at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. We took some pictures. And even then, he was just such a larger than life figure. Fast forward a few years later, I am in Hawaii on vacation looking for something to read. I'm in a used bookstore in Hawaii and I run across a copy of his book, Legal Lynching. And I read it within a day and it transformed the way that I thought about the death penalty, the way I thought about social justice. In fact, I went on in grad school to write my thesis on that topic, on the death penalty, really inspired by Reverend Jackson. Fast forward to my time teaching, Congressman Jackson, Jesse Jr. was my congressman for many years. I brought him out to my classes. We brought the students there. And then I had the opportunity to be on his television program, Reverend Jackson's, for a long time. And it was a wonderful experience to connect with him, interview him, and really learn from him throughout these years.
More with Dr. Ted Williams, educator, actor, and author. We are remembering the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse L. Jackson. You are listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. I'm your guest host, Dr. Nicordelai Corte. More when we come forward.
While you're stuck in traffic, we can at least bring you up to speed on the news of the day. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. only on KBLA Talk 1580. Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attention community leaders, are you ready to strengthen your impact in the community? For more than 25 years, Community Development Services has helped nonprofits build strong communities by empowering community leaders and emerging professionals with the support they need to create lasting change. Starting a nonprofit or need a fiscal sponsor? Need expert nonprofit accounting services? Want nonprofit financial management training for your staff? Are you a college accounting student seeking an internship opportunity? Call 424-289-4330 or visit communitydevelopmentservicesinc.org. Community Development Services, providing support, improving communities. Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it. Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Angela was. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $80,000. Felicia was having health problems, got behind on her taxes, interest and penalties were adding up. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $15,000. Civic Tax Relief is a professional tax negotiation firm that can protect you from the IRS. If you're getting collection letters, call Civic Tax Relief for a free consultation. They will go to work helping you discover all the relief programs you may qualify for free. James owed the IRS $37,000. Civic Tax Relief represented him against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, he did not owe the IRS anything. If you are in trouble with the IRS, call Civic Tax Relief for your free consultation now. 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257. Get a free consultation and real tax relief. Call 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Not everything announces itself. Some things simply arrive, and the room is compelled to adjust. This is grooming without apology, without noise, without compromise. Gods and money, organic formulations, clean precision, crafted for skin that does not ask for permission to be felt. Element Cream, a rare hydration layered like an oud at dusk, measured, enduring, unmistakably masculine, moisturizing oil, a quiet revolution, restoring what stress, climate, and time attempts to claim. This is not skincare. It is composure made visible. It is inevitability. Gods and money exist impeccably. Discover the ritual at godsandmoney.com. That's Gods and Money, MONY.com.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
You are listening to and streaming the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, your guest host in for Jesse Jackson Jr. And really delighted to be in conversation with Dr. Ted Williams III. He's an educator, actor, and author. He teaches political science at City Colleges of Chicago. He is also an actor with credits including NBC's Chicago PD, Showtime's The Chi, and various films. I'm so glad that you've taken the time to be with us today and to share how Reverend Jackson has been an inspiration to you.
Yeah, thank you so much again for that. So I realized that for many years I attempted to merge multiple worlds in my life, from my artistic interest to my political interest and my faith interest. And Reverend Jackson was a phenomenal manifestation of at least two of those interests coming together. This notion of faith and justice, the reason why faith compels us to be engaged. And so I have been a student of his and Dr. King and other people in this space for really most of my life. And I'm so grateful to have, they say you should not meet your heroes, but I got to meet my hero, and it was a phenomenal experience. And so I've used the arts to take these messages and carry them forward. But I remember specifically two different times where I was with Reverend Jackson that really touched me. Years ago, I was once again a guest on his television show consistently. And I was, during one of the breaks, he looked over at me. I had copious notes because I didn't trust myself at that stage in my career to talk about these issues without really digging in. And he goes, young man, those are some really nice notes you have. I said, well, thank you, Reverend. I'm just trying to keep up with you. And, because he could spit off facts and figures off the top of his head. Like, he'd memorized them all. And he said, someone leaned over to me after we were talking and they go, I think Reverend wants your notes. I said, okay. And so he asked me eventually after they said that, let me have them. For the show. They're that good. I said, well, by golly, you're Reverend Jackson. If my notes are good enough for you, that by all means, and I finished the rest of the show trying to figure it out and wing it because, the Reverend had deemed that he needed my notes. And that was a very special moment. Another moment I had with him was I got to spend pretty much a whole day with him walking around Marquette Park in Chicago's on the Chicago's South Side, where Dr. King said when they marched there in 1966 that he had been many places throughout the South, but he'd never seen violence as hate-filled and mobs as hate-filled and as vitriolic and angry as he saw in Chicago. And so we spent the day walking around that park with him and myself and some other folks and videotaped that. It was a wonderful experience. And Reverend Jackson was really a bridge from a time that many of us read about to the time that we are in today. And what a phenomenal bridge. And I think, once again, every single person who is lined up to see him, to pay him respect, I'm amazed by all the people in our community who have just said, you know what, we need to be here because he meant something for us. My hope and prayer is that his fire will ignite a fire in all of us, and we'll have a significant change in this country.
Talk to us about the timing of Reverend Jackson's passing. I certainly have heard folks in recent days sort of opine on this. We know that Reverend Jackson had valiantly fought his illness for many years, but there are some folks that are saying that the timing of his transition is particularly significant, given the state of the country, the state of the world, and so much of what he's fought for over the years. Talk to us about
Sure.
what about the timing of his passing resonates with you.
As being spiritually minded people here, let's think about this. We are in the 250th anniversary of this nation, and we're trying to figure out if we're going to have another 250 years based on how we live out this calling that Thomas Jefferson wrote on paper. At least we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. What are we going to do in this 250-year anniversary? This is also the 100-year anniversary of Negro History Week, started by Carter G. Woodson. It's also the 50-year anniversary of the Federal Proclamation for Black History Month. It is also Black History Month, as we know. And so Reverend Jackson could not have chosen a better time to exit. We are really at a crossroads in this country to figure out whether we're going to go forward as a united place, whether we're going to live out what Dr. King said when he said that we cannot have a first-class nation with second-class citizens. That really is the work that Reverend Jackson spent his entire life pushing forward. And so I think the timing is divine. And I think this nation, all of us, must decide what kind of country we want to have going forward, and whether we are going to take the things that Dr. King and Reverend Jackson fought for and push them and live them out for a new generation.
In our remaining minutes, Gina, I want to give you the final word here on what homework assignment you're giving us all to reflect on as we wrap up the week and head into the weekend.
Well, given that the name of our show on Friday in the second hour is reflectivity. You have picked no better question. And Ted knows I am a huge fan of Ted Williams. And I could not say anything any better than what he has said. His reflection on this time in our nation, the inspiration, the spiritual nature of it. And, even as we talked about earlier, for us to slow down and stop scrolling, perhaps, or if you're going to post something, let it be of substance. Let it be of something that is reflective, that people have to stop and think about. His exit at this particular time could not be any more powerful. Today is the first day that I'm really kind of emotional about it. And it's very interesting. And I know that when Ted goes there, there's something that happens when you actually go. And there are people that probably are catching themselves really off guard in this moment. And I do pray that our listening audience will take some time to reflect, to listen to the 84 speech, to listen to the speech, as he inspired people to know that I am somebody, we are somebody, and together we can be the best body. And if that's a body of Christ for you, that's great. But we can be a body as a nation and as a people.
My thanks to Gina Towns, the executive producer and director of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. Also, my thanks to actor, author, professor, Renaissance man, really, Ted Williams III. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, your guest host. You can find me weekdays, Monday through Thursday on KBLA Talk 1580 and Afternoon Drive Time, hosting A More Perfect Union, where we dive into news of the day and do so with the people who are shaping our culture. Many thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. And remember, keep hope alive.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.